So, our next topic is directive principles of state policy. Question number one. The purpose of the inclusion of directive principles of state policy in Indian Constitution is to establish social and economic democracy. Option D. The purpose of DPSP is to establish social and economic democracy. This will help India grow as a welfare state. Which one of the following is not the objective of the directive principles of state policy? Option C, to establish a religious state. Articles 36 to 51 of the Constitution of India contain the directive principles of state policy. The aim of the constitution makers was to establish a secular and democratic state to ensure socio-economic justice. Given below are two statements, one is labeled as assertion and other as reason. Directive principles are important for economic, social, and political functions in a modern democratic state. The core objective of DPSP is to establish economic and social democracy. So option D is correct. Both statements are correct, and second statement explains the one. Under the directive principles of state policy in the Indian Constitution, Article 38(1) states that the state shall strive to promote the welfare of the people by securing and protecting a social order in which social, economic, and political justice informs all institutions of national life as effectively as it can. According to Article 37, although the directive principles are not enforceable by any court, they are fundamental in the governance of the country, and it shall be the duty of the state to apply these principles in making laws. Also, they include some clear political and institutional objectives such as Panchayati Raj, Uniform Civil Code, separation of judiciary from executive, and international peace. The core purpose behind including DPSP is to establish social and economic democracy. How are the directive principles of state policy different from fundamental rights? Directive principles are not enforceable, whereas fundamental rights can be enforced. Option C. The directive principles of state policy are different from fundamental rights as directive principles are non justiciable. So they cannot be enforced in any court of law, but fundamental rights are enforceable. The directive principles are non justiciable. Option B. Fundamental rights are justifiable, whereas DPSP are not justifiable. Consider the following statements. With reference to the Constitution of India, the DPSP constitute limitations upon legislative function, executive function. Both statements are incorrect because the directive principles of state policy are certain restrictions to the legislature and the executive intended to show in what manner the state should exercise its legislative and executive power. The directive principles are in nature an instrument of instruction to the government to do certain things and to achieve certain ends by their actions. The directives are not enforceable in the court and do not create any justifiable rights in favor of the individual. Thus, the DPSP do not constitute a limitation upon legislative or executive function of the government. With reference to the provisions contained in Part 4 of the Constitution of India, which of the following statements is or are correct? They shall be enforceable by courts. It is incorrect because DPSP are not enforceable in courts. They shall not be enforceable by any court, right? The principles laid down in this part are to influence the making of law by state, right? Option 2 and 3 are correct. Article 37 of Indian Constitution says that the provisions contained in Part 4 of the Constitution shall not be enforceable by any court, but the principles therein laid down are nevertheless fundamental in the governance of the country, and it shall be the duty of the state to apply these principles in making laws. So, DPSP are non justifiable. Which article of the Indian Constitution says that DPSP are not enforceable by any court? Option D. Article 37 of Indian Constitution says that the provisions contained in Part 4 of the Constitution shall not be enforceable by any court. Consider the following statements with respect to directives principles of state policy. They are not enforceable by the courts, right? It shall be the duty of the state to apply these principles in making laws, right? Option B is correct. The Indian Constitution lays down certain directive principles of state policy, which, though not justiciable, are fundamental in the governance of the country. And it is the duty of the state to apply these principles in making laws. Consider the following statements regarding DPSP. These principles spell out the socio-economic democracy in the country. The provisions contained in these principles are not enforceable in any court. Option C is correct. The directive principles of state policy are directives to the government to implement them for establishing social and economic democracy in the country. Provisions contained in these principles are not enforceable by any court. These principles have been stated as fundamental in the governance of the country. Regarding the DPSP, which one of the following statements is not correct? Option C, they impose a legal duty on state. It is incorrect. According to Article 37 of the Constitution, the provisions contained in the Part 4 DPSP are not enforceable by any court, but these principles are fundamental in the governance of the country, and it is the duty of the state to apply these principles in making laws. These principles, being non enforceable, cannot impose a legal duty, but they lay down moral ideals for the state. The principles are merely instructions to guide the legislature and executive. These directives or instructions are not binding on the state. The concept of welfare state is included in the Constitution of India in the directive principles of state policy, option A. The concept of a welfare state is included in the Constitution of India in Part 4, that is DPSP, as described in Article 36 to 51 of the Constitution. Which part of the Constitution of India declares the ideal of welfare state? Option A, DPSP. Which part of the Constitution of India describes the model of welfare state? Option D, DPSP. Idea of India as a welfare state is found in preamble of the Constitution and DPSP. Option D. Idea of India as a welfare state is found in preamble of the Constitution as well as DPSP. The preamble gives importance to constituting India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. In the same way, DPSP guide both the center and the states for the establishment of a welfare state. The directive principles of state policy may be classified into which of the following parts for the sake of convenient study? Option D, all of the above. Constitution does not contain any classification of directive principles. However, on the basis of its content and direction, they can be classified into three broad categories, which is socialistic, Gandhian, and liberal intellectual. The directive principles of state policy of the Constitution of India is taken from the Constitution of which country? Option D, Ireland. The framers of the Constitution were influenced by Irish Constitution to add the provisions of DPSP in the Indian Constitution. The Indian Constitution borrowed the directive principles of state policy from the Constitution of which of the following countries? Option C, Ireland. In Indian Constitution, the idea of DPSP has been taken from the Constitution of Ireland, option A. Which of the following DPSP do not follow Gandhian principles? Organization of village panchayats under Article 40 is a Gandhian principle. Common Civil Code promoting cottage industry in rural areas, Gandhian principle and right to work. Option C is correct. 2 and 4 do not follow Gandhian principles. Statement 1, organization of village panchayats, and statement 3, promotion of cottage industries in rural areas are in accordance with Gandhian principles. Whereas statement 2, uniform civil code, and 4, right to work, fall under these categories: liberal, intellectual, and socialist of DPSP, not Gandhian. Hence, DPSP not in accordance with Gandhian principles are 2 and 4. DPSP are non-justiciable. Option B is correct. DPSP are non-justiciable, which means they are not enforceable in any court of law in India. According to the Constitution of India, which of the following are fundamental to the governance of the country? DPSP, Directive Principles of State Policy, option C. Article 37 of the Constitution says that directive principles are not enforceable in any courts of India but are fundamental in the governance of the country. It will be the duty of the state to ensure that these principles are applied in the legislation of laws. Under the Indian Constitution, concentration of wealth violates directive principles of state policy. Option B. Article 39 DPSP of Indian Constitution states that certain principles of policy to be followed by the state. The state shall, in particular, direct its policy towards securing that the citizens, men and women, equally have the right to an adequate means of livelihood, that the ownership or and control of material resources of the community are so distributed as best to subserve the common good, that the operation of economic system does not result in the concentration of wealth and means of production to the common detriment, that there is equal pay for equal work for both men and women, that the health and strength of workers, men and women, and tender age of children are not abused, and that citizens are not forced by economic necessity to enter avocations unsuited to their age or strength, that children are given opportunities and facilities to develop in a healthy manner and in conditions of freedom and dignity, that the childhood and youth are protected against exploitation and against moral and material abandonment. Equal pay for equal work has been ensured in the Indian Constitution as one of the DPSP. Option B. Equal pay for equal work has been ensured in the Indian Constitution in Article 39D, enshrined in Part 4 Directive Principles of State Policy. It says that there should be equal pay for equal work for both men and women. It is noteworthy that the Article 14, 16, and 39D, together with the preamble, enabled the Supreme Court in the case of Ranveer Singh versus Union of India in 1982 to reduce the right to equal pay for equal work as a fundamental right. With respect to Article 39D of the Indian Constitution, the Parliament passed the Equal Remuneration Act 1976. Which one of the following is included in the DPSP of state policy? Option D. Equal pay for equal work for both men and women. Above three statements are of fundamental rights. Which of the following is not a fundamental right? Equal pay for equal work is not a fundamental right, it is a DPSP. Panchayati Raj system in India is laid down under the directive principles of state policy. Option C. Panchayati Raj system in India is laid down under the DPSP under Article 40. According to this article, state shall take steps to organize village panchayats and endow them with such powers and authority as may be necessary to enable these to function as units of self-governance. Which one of the following articles direct the state government to organize panchayats? Option B, Article 40. Article 40 to organize village panchayats and endow them with the necessary powers and authority to enable them to function as units of self government. Article 33 under rights to constitutional remedies, fundamental rights, power of parliament to modify their rights conferred by this part in their application of forces, etc. Article 48 to prohibit the slaughter of cows, calves, and other milch and draught cattle and to improve their breeds. Article 50 separation of judiciary from the executive. Which one of the following articles directs state government to organize village panchayats? Article 40. Under the Constitution of India, organization of village panchayat is a directive principle under Article 40. Match list 1 with list 2. Formation of village panchayat, Article 40. Uniform Civil Code 44 B का 1. None of the above is correct answer. So, Organization of Village Panchayats, Article 40. Uniform Civil Code, Article 44. Agriculture and Animal Husbandry, Article 48. Separation of Judiciary from Executive, Article 50. Promotion of international peace, Article 51. Match list 1 with list 2. Article 40, village panchayats 1. 41, 44, Uniform Civil Code 3. Option A is correct. Article 40, Organization of Village Panchayats. 41, Right to Work, Education and Public Assistance in certain cases. Article 44, Uniform Civil Code for all citizens. Article 48, Organization of Agriculture and Animal Husbandry. Which one of the following is not correctly matched? Article 48 is about Organization of Agriculture and Animal Husbandry, and separation of judiciary from executive comes under Article 50. Article 39A, Equal Justice and Free Legal Aid. Article 40, Organization of Village Panchayats. 44, Uniform Civil Code. 48, Organization of Agriculture and Animal Husbandry. Identify the correct pair mentioning the DPSP of state policy in the Constitution of India. Equal Justice and Free Legal Aid, Article 39A. Organization of Agriculture and Animal Husbandry is under Article 48, not 43. Organization of Village Panchayat is under Article 40. That there is equal pay for equal work for both men and women comes from Article 39. It is correct. So option D is correct. Match list P with list R. Equal Justice and Free Legal Aid 39A, A2. Protection of Environment 48A. Right to Work 41. In Protection of Monuments 49. Option B is correct. Which one of the following is not correctly matched? Separation of judiciary from executive, Article 50, correct. Promotion of educational and economic interest of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, Article 46, correct. Promotion of cooperative societies, 43A. It is incorrect because it is under 43B. The organization of village panchayats and enable them to function as units of self-government, Article 40 is correct. Under Article 43B of the Constitution of India, promotion of cooperative societies, the state shall endeavor to promote voluntary formation, autonomous functioning, democratic control, and professional management of cooperative societies. Article 43A provides for the participation of workers in the management of industries. Given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion